Thank you all. If we can all please be seated. Good afternoon, Prime Minister, Keynote Speaker Wesley Clark, Chairman of the Board Rich Lukai, Trustees, RIT President Dr. Munson, other very honored and special platform dignitaries, dignitaries in our audience, every family and friend gathered here, and most importantly, the 2018 graduates of RIT Kosovo. Welcome everyone to the spring commencement ceremony. What a wonderful and beautiful day this is for all of us, and especially as we are here to celebrate our 115 graduates. At this time, I ask that everyone stand. Please remove all hats and remain standing for the presentation of our flags by the Kosovo Security Force cadets, the playing of the Kosovo National Anthem, and the United States National Anthem. Thank you. Everyone, please, thank you for being seated. You can put back on your hats at this point. Oops. It is my great pleasure this afternoon to welcome you to RIT Kosovo's 14th commencement ceremony. Class of 2018, you have long anticipated this day. Some with eagerness, some with anxiety, some with a complicated mix of emotions. But whatever you are feeling here today, you deserve to hold a keen sense of pride. You've made it. Certainly, all those gathered here today to celebrate with you have tremendous pride in you, as do the many around the world who are with us virtually through our live streaming of today's ceremony. Welcome to these online participants as well. One other group taking great pleasure in today's events are RIT Kosovo's outstanding faculty. I work with these dedicated teachers, scholars, and mentors closely in my role as president, and I know firsthand the great satisfaction and pride they feel in your accomplishments today, graduates. Let me, at this point, recognize and thank our indispensable commencement committee who have worked for many, many months to prepare for this one very special day. Thank you all. Let me also recognize and thank our mace bearer, Mimosa Poloshka. Mimosa. Ceremonial maces have been used for centuries in academic processions. It is an important symbol of the authority of the university to award degrees. We are honored to have Professor Poloshka lead our commencement ceremony today. And let me say, this is also a very special day for me as a president, because this is, first of all, my second commencement ceremony here as your president at RIT Kosovo. And I am honored to celebrate this day with all of you students, which also includes my own son Gavin, who transferred to RIT Kosovo, completed his work back at RIT, flew here to be at our ceremony today. Not often does a president have the distinction of being able to award their own son their degree. I'm also indeed blessed to have this honor with our students and graduates, that I will be able to shortly see all of you rise to take the mantle of leadership in your new careers or in your continuing academic journeys within your various communities here in Kosovo, in Europe, in the United States, wherever you hail from and wherever you plan to head next. It is now your time, graduates, to effect significant and positive change. I now ask Dr. Jeremy Hefner, Provost of RIT in New York, and Dr. Jim Myers, RIT Kosovo Board of Trustees member and Associate Provost for International Education and Global Programs at RIT in New York, to come to the podium for the presentation of student awards. But let me say first, on their way up, that this is also, we are saying farewell today to Dr. Hefner, as this will be his last commencement ceremony with all of us at RIT Kosovo. He is stepping down as Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs at RIT to become the Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor at the University of Denver, USA. We are grateful, Jeremy, for your academic leadership and vision, and we will truly miss you, Dr. Hefner. We wish you only the best in all your future endeavors. Will you both now please come to the podium? Thank you. Drop this one. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hart. And thank you to all the incredible RIT Kosovo students, faculty, and staff for the warm welcome that you've given me. Graduation Day is a joyous day for the university. In fact, I like to say it's the happiest day in the entire calendar for our university. It's a day to put aside the administrative meetings and assignments and endless grading, and a day to truly celebrate our students and their many, many successes. I am personally very happy to be here today to celebrate our wonderful graduates. It is my honor to announce the student awards for the RIT Outstanding Scholars. Now this year, there are 3 students who have been awarded the RIT Outstanding Scholar Award. Each of these students honored today has received the distinction of maintaining a minimum university grade point average of 3.85 out of a possible 4.0. And what this means for our parents and loved ones in the audience is that these students could not get more than 3 Bs their entire academic career. The rest had to be As. That's an incredible achievement, and we should be proud of these individuals. The RIT Outstanding Scholar recognition is reserved for those students who also stand out of their passion for learning, but they are critical thinkers and leaders in the classroom. And many of these scholars participate in student clubs, civic activities, work full or part-time, and collaborate on research projects. These students were also recognized at a ceremony on the RIT campus in Rochester, New York. And while they were unable to leave their classroom here in Kosovo to attend, we are so proud to announce and celebrate them at that time along with the other deserving RIT students from Rochester, Croatia, Dubai, and China. We are proud to announce your name once again. Would each student please approach the stage as Dr. Myers calls your name? And I kindly ask that you hold your applause until all students have joined me on the stage. Jim?
Viola Gashi. Ilza Hoti. No, Viola. And then we go first, so this is Viola. Katrina Zika. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to the RIT Outstanding Undergraduate Scholars.
Greetings. I am Daniel Cosentino, Vice President for Academic Affairs at RIT Kosovo. I have the pleasure of introducing our valedictorian, who has just returned from our Rochester, New York commencement in the United States, Ms. Ulza Hoti. Ulza Hoti from Prizren, Kosovo, is graduating with a BS in Applied Arts and Sciences with concentrations in management and economics. She is a recipient of the Outstanding Student Scholarship, the Dr. Farid Murad Scholarship, and the Best in Generation Scholarship. Of course. Her professional experience includes serving as a mathematics tutor at RIT Kosovo, a procurement specialist for UA builders, and most recently as a student recruitment coordinator at RIT Kosovo. During her studies, Ulza has been continuously engaged with extracurricular activities, especially through volunteer work. During her junior year, she served as president of the RITK Charity Club, during which time she also held leadership positions in the Environmental Club and the Economists Club. Following graduation, Ulza plans to explore career opportunities for a few years and then pursue an MBA degree. Please welcome Ms. Ulza Hoti, class of 2018's valedictorian, to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Cosentino. Dear members of the Board of Trustees, President Hart, Vice President Cosentino, dear distinguished guests, family members, faculty and staff, and most importantly, dear fellow graduates, I'm honored. I am honored to stand in front of you today to address the class of 2018. Congratulations. When I found out I would be the commencement speaker this year, I was a bit overwhelmed by the idea of standing here in front of all of you today, the day we've all been working towards for these past 4 years. Talk about a date none of us is willing to postpone. I would like to start my speech with a story. When I was 16 years old, I was given an opportunity that would impact me for the rest of my life. Having won a scholarship to attend 1 year of high school in the United States, I took 3 planes all the way to Duvall, Washington, where I was about to spend the next 10 months of my life as an exchange student. Thrilled at the possibility of experiencing a completely new lifestyle, I embarked upon my own journey of the so-called American dream that I had only heard about in Hollywood movies. While I was there, I became familiar with the idea of the United States as the land of opportunities, where people have a variety of chances for career and education development. While I was fascinated with the idea of living in a place where one was given countless chances to succeed, I couldn't help but remind myself that mine was a temporary experience. Unfortunately, at the time, I didn't see Kosovo as a land of opportunities, the one that America had given me an impression of. I used to believe that once I was to take those 3 planes back home, I would have to return to reality and accept my homeland for what I thought it was, a land of opportunities, but only for some, a post-war society struggling to rebuild itself. Little did I know that opportunities similar to the ones I had witnessed in the US were being offered very near home, in a small university campus in Pristina, at the time known as the American University in Kosovo. Although I had heard of AUK before, I never thought that I would be able to afford attending such a prestigious institution. Fortunately, my dream was once again reignited when I was awarded a full scholarship for my first year of studies. When each of us first stepped foot into this institution, we were all very different from each other. We had different backgrounds, different experiences, and different expectations. Yet, we all had one thing in common. We had all come here in an attempt to succeed. And let me break it to you, we all did succeed. Dear class of 2000, Dear class of 2018, we are graduating today from a globally recognized institution, having taken bits of wisdom from great professors, and having experienced our own version of the American dream right here in Kosovo. It goes without saying that these past 4 years have been challenging, but I'm sure we all agree that they've also been life-changing. As time passed by and our laptops slowly started falling apart, RIT Kosovo became more than a home to us, more than a university to us. It became our home. And no, I'm not just saying that because many of us literally slept here during exam weeks. RIT Kosovo became our home because this is where we met some of our closest friends, some of our wisest mentors, and most importantly, where we had the glimpse of life as independent young adults. But at the same time, this meant that we were slowly growing apart from those people who had stood by our sides for the first 18 years of our lives, our families. I would like to dedicate part of my speech to all the family members of the graduating class of 2018. Thank you for supporting us in our journey, even though it meant that sometimes you had to sacrifice your dreams to see ours come true. Thank you for always encouraging us and moving forward, even when we may have been so close to giving up. And thank you for being just as happy, if not more, to see us reach this milestone in our lives today. Now, several people have told me to make my speech short and funny. Unfortunately, giving a funny speech clearly isn't my forte, but what I can do is let you know that it's almost over. My fellow graduates, as we stand here today amongst our loved ones, our tireless professors, and everyone else who has made this experience worthwhile, I want you to take a moment and appreciate the greatness of this achievement that we're celebrating today. When I was 16 years old, I didn't believe that our beloved home country was a land of opportunities. But here I am today, 6 years later, and with a completely different point of view. These past 4 years at RIT Kosovo have taught me that we each create our own opportunities, and we each build our own path to success. It's not where you live that determines whether you will be successful, but rather your will and determination to do so. I would like to end this speech with one of my favorite quotes by Harriet Jackson Brown Jr., which goes, "Opportunity dances with those already on the dance floor." As many people may have already told you, this is the end of a journey, but it's also the beginning of a much more exciting one. So please, keep working hard, and don't forget, opportunities are out there. All you have to do is get out and grab them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ulta, for your motivational words and spirit. Congratulations again on your incredible accomplishments, and may I be the first to welcome you to the RIT Kosovo alumni community. Now, please join me in welcoming our alumnus, Uli Nimani, accompanied by 2 members of the Kosovo National Ballet, Abatari Husseini and Donmir Bilali.
Good afternoon to everyone. Congratulations, class of 2018. I'm honored to be here 1 year later after I graduated, and I hope you enjoy what we've managed to rehearse here. Thank you.
Më lërë të të ndjej për atë shko sa kam betur dhe fundin ta gënjej mbi fytyrën tënde të fjetur dhe të vërtetën të mbys në qokun tim të dekur por buzëqesh janë ngri pas fatke si sonë është qetur e shiu do t'i laj më ka e tuna do harroj në tët e vona kur ti e shtri pran me më falje dashuri fotografit në mur një dit o zvenë se shkon e dis do t'thesh prandaj të lutem re është edhe një natë është edhe një natë është edhe një natë është edhe një Pika shiu lëkurën tonë të kthemi lampëmi vërshojnë qdo prekje, qdo puthje në trupa tanë të mpi ti buzëqesh për të fundit fotografit në mur një dit o zbenë se shkon e dis të kthesh prandaj të lutem re është edhe një natë edhe një natë është edhe një natë
Thank you very much. This is a more upbeat song, so I invite you to dance and to enjoy.
The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now I'll take my hand, stop, put the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance, singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my. I may be crazy, don't mind me, so boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on. Come and now follow my lead. Come and now follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet. Although my heart is falling too, but I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. You are you, are you, are you, are you. I'm in love with your body. You are you, are you, are you, are you. I'm in love with your body. You are you, are you, are you, are you. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. Come on, be my baby. Come on. 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 Come on, be my baby. Come on, be my baby. Hey! I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too, but I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. But I'm in love with the shape of you. Thank you, Van Deret.
I am so glad they put me after him. Something tells me I'm going to see him again on TV and concerts and lots of other places. Let me also thank Ilza Hoti, our valedictorian, for being such an inspiration with her words. And I hope they resonated with all of you as it did with me. And for that beautiful interlude. That was quite a performance, and I hope you all agree. Maybe one more round of applause for the performers. You know, being here today, as in many past years for me, is a source of great pride. Firstly, because amongst us are so many friends that have contributed to so many dreams coming true. And yes, here in Kosovo. Not the least of which is a personal friend and hero to this region is among us here today, the man who is a symbol of hope for Kosovars, General Wesley Clark. The second source of pride is you all, the graduates. Year after year, you are the beacons of the future of this place and a symbol, truly a symbol for the hope of this country. I must admit, when Uli was singing earlier, when he says, "Do busqesh per të fundit herë," it was also a source of emotion for me, because as some of you may know, this is my last year as the chairman of the board of RIT AUK. I am retiring this year after almost 2 decades of engagement with this really crazy idea that we all fell in love with right after the war. Replacing me will be Uran Sami. I'd like him to take a stand as well. Ron is another longtime board member, and candidly, it's a graduation for AUK to have him continue in the fine work of this institution with the leadership that he has with him going forward. The caliber of good work here will undoubtedly continue, and I'm sure I'll be filled with pride for many years to come. We commenced this journey together with the other founders of RIT AUK, and they truly also were an amazing group of people, with the aim to create a global standard of sustainable, nonprofit, higher education for Kosovo's youth. And I am as excited today as I was in the initial days about the progress that is continuing here alongside our institutional partners at RIT in New York. It's truly profound at this moment for me to recall the humble beginnings of this institution with President Clinton himself as our first lecturer to the first class when we started this program. All of those graduates from that starting class have done some amazing things, and every class that followed thereafter. Moreover, I swell up when I think of the contributions and amazing things that you all and the many alumni that will become your friends to follow will do for this country and throughout this region. And in fact, many of you will affect the world. Our graduates, in fact, are the crowning achievement of this institution every single year. And I so look forward to actually staying in touch with some of you who have become dear friends. And over the years, I have been touched and moved every time I've come across a student doing amazing things somewhere. You all are the energy of this place, and your futures are filled with incredible optimism, and if you can apply your energy to it, nothing should stand in your way. If I could actually leave the graduates with one message, I tell you to keep in mind all of the sacrifices that have been made to get you to where you are today. That's sacrifices of your families, your own sacrifices, and the many generations of people that have sacrificed to make sure this day today is possible for you. Keep that in mind as you consider the ways that you can make the future even brighter for Kosovars and for the whole of the Balkans. Change, perhaps, is the only constant that you have known in your generation. So continue to actually be a catalyst of change, but don't rush off to chase dreams that may be far away without actually pausing for a moment to see the potential that is around you right here. Don't let the media, the politics, the bad actors, or anything else dissuade you from your full potential right here in your homeland. You will be hard-pressed to find more achievement and personal satisfaction from your efforts anywhere else in the world. This is the basis under which you actually begin the pillars of progress for a newborn country. I'm sure you're all nervous about the future, but based on those that have come before you, and you've read all the statistics, I'm absolutely confident that you will all be beginning a beautiful journey from here. RIT Kosovo, AUK, has prepared you for all these possibilities. Remember to put your highest priority on doing the things that matter, even beyond yourself. For only in those things that matter are dreams actually realized and a more perfect nation created. It won't always be easy. People will resist you, they will reject you, and certainly they will find your way of thinking foreign. But press on with patience and understanding. More than ever, we will need you to take the road less traveled and carve a way for those who wish to follow and to create that better place with you, and you will all lead together. Please accept my heartfelt congratulations to all of you. And without further ado, I'd like to invite to the podium a scholar, a military man, a diplomat, a presidential candidate, a businessman, an advisor to many companies and governments around the world, our dear friend, who is no stranger to any of you, the former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, General Wesley Clark.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for that warm welcome. Prime Minister, Dr. Munson, Dr. Hart, Chairman Lukai, members of the Armed Forces and Support Forces, distinguished guests, Urima, congratulations, graduates. It's so nice to see you all, your parents, your grandparents, husbands, wives, children, and all the other loved ones at this occasion. So welcome, all of you. For today's graduates, I'm sure it's been a challenge, a struggle, an adventure. For this is a university, I hear, with high standards. It's not a party school. It's a serious institution. For me today, seeing you is an inspiration, truly an inspiration. This university has strong links to the United States through its curriculum, language, textbooks, and faculty. And yet, it's a Kosovar university, founded by the men who managed the Kosovo Homeland Fund, established with money donated by your parents and grandparents to help your people struggling under Slobodan Milosevic's oppressive rule. I want to tell you that today's a long way from my first experiences 20 years ago. In those days, I was the Supreme Allied Commander Europe. I was a U.S. four-star general in charge of all NATO operations in Europe. In March 1998, I was visiting the U.S. troops in Macedonia. They were placed there to help define an undefined border. As I landed, I was summoned to visit Macedonian President Kiro Gligorov. He was worried. He told me the Serb Special Police had just murdered the Jashari family. 60 people murdered. And he believed this would spark war. He said, these Albanians are not like Bosniaks. They will fight back. And they did. Courageous men and women in your villages and cities rose up, much as American Minutemen did against the British colonial soldiers in 1776. Your citizen soldiers came together as the Kosovo Liberation Army. And while they were outnumbered, their struggle caught the world's attention, as well as bringing down upon them the wrath of the Serbian forces. Villages were attacked with mortars, surrounded by the army. Serb special police, paramilitary entered, rounded up lawyers, doctors, teachers, human rights workers. They stole, they threatened. Villagers began to flee. NATO debated and determined that it could not stand by and let another Bosnia-type ethnic cleansing unfold. Milosevic was ordered to halt the ethnic cleansing. My headquarters was tasked to prepare concept plans. We did. So we began by flying aircraft around the borders. And we proposed that if that failed, we would use airstrikes. And if they failed, ultimately a land invasion. Ambassador Richard Holbrooke went to Belgrade to speak with Sir President Milosevic. Then I spoke with Milosevic. I warned him. He said to me, General Clark, he said, do not worry. These are my own people, and I certainly would not harm them. But his special police and military were doing just that, hard at work in ethnic cleansing, even as he spoke with me. Ethnic cleansing is a simple phrase for a horrible, dirty process. Some of you in the audience know what I'm talking about because you experienced it. And while we tried to reason with Milosevic, ethnic cleansing continued step by step, and Kosovars fled to the mountains. By September, 400,000 Kosovars were hiding in the mountains. Babies were born there. Maybe even some of you sitting here were born there. And that's a thought that makes me pause, because all of this is so close to you and to your families. I flew back to Washington to see Secretary of Defense William Cohen. I warned him, Mr. Secretary, NATO's credibility is at risk. He listened. He flew to Europe. He charged NATO to act. His message was, NATO has threatened. Milosevic has not been deterred. Now NATO must act. The United Nations passed a Security Council resolution authorizing action under Chapter 7, all necessary means. Ambassador Holbrooke returned to Belgrade to talk. NATO issued its first activation order, the first in history, the first real preparation to strike. I flew to Belgrade with NATO Secretary General Solana to try to persuade Milosevic to comply with the UN resolution and pull his forces back. I made 3 trips during the month of October. We formed a Kosovo diplomatic observer mission. And as they came in early January, they bore witness to Milosevic's brutality and helped persuade NATO of the need to intervene. Because it was clear by January, Milosevic had made up his mind to use force against the people of Kosovo, regardless of NATO. 53 farmers were murdered in Raychok. The French hosted negotiations at Rambouillet. Nothing stopped Milosevic. Holbrooke even went back in for a last-ditch effort to head off war. No luck. Milosevic escalated his campaign of ethnic cleansing. I'm a soldier. I received my orders. And on the evening of March 24th, 1999, we launched the first NATO strikes. Then we escalated with more strikes, hitting targets in Belgrade, hitting a wider range of targets, striking 24 hours a day, coming in from all azimuths. Milosevic fought back. He tried to launch a strike against U.S. forces in Bosnia. He reinforced his forces in Kosovo. He deported tens of thousands of Kosovars living here in Pristina to Macedonia. Maybe some of you were on those train trips across the border. It was a futile attempt to destabilize a neighboring country. But above all, he tried to intensify the ethnic cleansing in Kosovo. We saw the graves, the burning villages. We heard the stories from the refugees. And covertly, British and perhaps American trainers were assisting the KLA. We bombed for 11 weeks, brought in attack helicopters to Albania, began preparations for a land invasion with up to 200,000 NATO troops. By early June, we were bringing in B-52 bombers to hit Serb positions on Mount Pastric, just as Finnish President Ahtisaari and Russian Vice President Chernomyrdin were offering Milosevic an end to the strikes if he pulled out his forces. Milosevic buckled. Okay, he said. The UN endorsed the agreement on June 12th, and on June 14th, NATO forces entered Kosovo to secure the peace. NATO had planned and organized the occupation, and it unfolded rapidly despite a Russian special operation attempting to disrupt it. We watched 900,000 Kosovar refugees return from Albania, Macedonia, and Montenegro. It was like a miracle. And to my surprise, they began immediately to rebuild. Your parents and grandparents, with help from the diaspora, accomplished miracles of reconstruction, using largely their own resources. The demonstration of your industriousness inspired the world and deepened global admiration for your people. The fruits of that labor today are visible for all to see. Kosovo has been transformed from a backward third world province to a country on the threshold of entering modern Europe. I flew in a few weeks later to help settle the future role of the Kosovo Liberation Army, meeting with your Prime Minister, among others. And then the United Nations was there, and of course there were problems. There were scattered incidents of revenge. Mitrovica was allowed to be divided despite my efforts and protests. But the peace held. You were just babies and toddlers then. You've heard the stories, but you probably don't remember. I do. Your families had the courage to resist. Some fought with the KLA, along with several hundred Albanian Americans and others. But we also need to remember that 1.5 million had the courage to flee to Albania, Macedonia, Montenegro, or the mountains. And we also have to remember that NATO had the courage to act, to respond, to help. So now Kosovo is an independent nation. You're part of the West. You're a democracy. And you, my fellow graduates of a university, you are graduating into this democracy to make your way. You've studied humanities, science, mathematics, history, political science, economics, comparative governments. Your new country, and a country that's only 10 years old, is still new. Your new country needs your skills, your education, and your energy. It can have no greater, no more precious resource than its people. Now, I hope you'll follow the previous graduating classes. I hope you'll found businesses, provide help in law and medicine, engineering, financial management, security. Some of you will continue your studies abroad. But I hope after you do that, you'll come back because you're needed here. You see, Kosovo is on the place where the tectonic plates of civilization come together. East and west, north and south. It's been the scene of struggles for thousands of years. Greeks were here, Dacians, Romans, Byzantine warriors, Turks, Serbs, Austrians, French, everybody. There have been dictatorships. There have been kingdoms. Religions and philosophies have washed over this beautiful land along with blood, a lot of blood. And these mountains have provided temporary refuge, not just for your parents and grandparents, but for many, many generations in history. I'm sorry to tell you the struggle is not over. The struggle continues, this time between Western democracy and, let's call it, autocracy. In the West, Europe and the United States are governed by free elections with an open media and the rule of law. In your country, you now have free and fair elections. Of course, there's ambition, there's competition, and some people never play by the rules if they can get away with it. Even in democracies, people sometimes choose unwisely in elections. But by and large, those impulses are counterbalanced by a strong and independent judiciary, supported by honest and independent prosecutors, and a set of processes that guarantee free elections will follow, with the chance to choose again what's best for the people. It's true that democratic governments swerve and sway on the issues. They search for consensus. They balance interest against interest. As leaders come and go, democracies often fail to make complex, long-term strategies. They fail to keep secrets. These are difficulties observed 200 years ago by the French writer Alexis de Tocqueville on his visit to America. But genuine democracies respect, abide by, and implement the rule of law. And that's what sets them apart from pseudo-democracies and autocracies. Against this, a new threat has arisen in the East and in the South. It's the idea of a strong man, a lone individual. He alone embodies the will of a people. He alone is empowered above the rule of law. He changes constitutions. He uses the weapons of law as well as criminality, money, censorship, subterfuge, extortion, and threat to advance his interests. His ambition is often expressed in terms of populism and nationalism. He reminds us of what divides people. He fires up the resentments of history, religion, and culture. He seeks to exploit fear and hatred. He preys on his neighbors, exploiting their flaws and faults. He spots avarice, greed, lust, insecurity. He turns their weaknesses to his ends. He often cloaks his abuses with fraudulent elections. Every political leader or follower who believes he's entitled to live like a billionaire, who can't stand an honest critique, who can't conceive of giving up office, is vulnerable to an autocrat's corrupting influences. And the people of this region know better than most what the consequences of this kind of nationalist tyranny is, because you've felt its evil. You've seen its power. Only a few miles from here, Slobodan Milosevic rallied 1 million Serbs with resentment, played to their fear, stoked their lust for revenge. Cynical and evil, he destroyed his own nation, caused more than 100,000 deaths, disrupted the lives of millions. Milosevic became a billionaire, but he died in prison. Usually, autocracy doesn't end well, and it didn't for him. Kosovo stands as an independent nation today because there was no other way to live with the passions, the fear, and the hatreds that Milosevic incited. There was no other way but to give Kosovo an opportunity to define a destiny separate from Serbia's. And now you're entering your adulthood, just as your nation is entering more fully into nationhood. Your country's won an Olympic medal. You produced prize-winning films. You're taking its music to the world. There's a lot of talent here, as you saw a few moments ago. But you must assume the responsibilities of shaping your nation's destiny and helping to fulfill its European vocation of full membership in the European Union and family of nations. Thank you, Prime Minister. Let's make no mistake. The education you receive, as hard as you work for it, isn't just for you. You didn't do this as a selfish act. It has a larger purpose. For you to become a new kind of Kosovar, a full citizen, an active participant, and a leader in the Balkans. This will not be easy. And let's list some of the challenges. You've got to break with the sad past that marks this region's history. It's summarized so often. Never forget, never forgive. You must demonstrate that you will not repay hatred with hatred or seek revenge for the past. That doesn't work. It hasn't worked in the past. It won't work now. You've got to build this young democracy by being honest, pointing out its flaws and failures, seeking answers, listening, respecting others, working together. You have to find a way to reach out to others, no matter what their origins, ethnicity, or language, building on what's common and shared. And you must do so with the highest standards of integrity. That means when you're in public service, you live modestly. You live within your means. It means playing by the rules. It requires you to demand accountability from your leaders. It's up to you. You. Because your nation has to be built by its own citizens. It's invested in you. Now, you've got a great friend in the United States and in individual Americans. There's a lot of us who care about you, but we cannot do it for you. When I was an Army colonel about 30 years ago, I was out in the Mojave Desert in California, and I commanded 14 times a year this very complicated live fire, live ammunition training exercise. It was the most complex live fire exercise ever done up to that time by the United States Army. We had 1,000 men, 100 armored vehicles, mortars, artillery, air defense guns, A-10s, F-16s in close air support. Free play against targets. And the exercises were conducted unrehearsed, no practice, against a complex automated target array, day and night. The risks of fatal accident were significant. My role was to be the brigade commander in these exercises with troops I hadn't really trained, that I was evaluating. So I'd fly up by helicopter from the headquarters and think about what was going to happen. And in that helicopter, I would look down at my hands because I knew I held in my hands the lives and safety of those soldiers. It was up to me ultimately, not at the first step, but ultimately. It was sobering and serious. That was what I trained for and committed to doing. And time after time, I would look at my hands and think, you've got to get this done. So I want to ask you graduates today, raise your hands up. Look at your hands. Let's go. Look at them up. Raise them up. Yep. Not like this. You're not asking a question. I want you to look at the palms of your hands. This Republic of Kosovo, thank you. Now, this Republic of Kosovo, it's in your hands. You hold its hope and its future. Will you be able to take Kosovo forward in this difficult neighborhood? Will you be able to help navigate between the fears and resentments that have left this region soaked in blood? Will you be able to discover the common interests and common needs and shared humanity of your neighbors? Will you be able to replace fear with hope and hatred with promise? So this is the opportunity that your teachers and professors and everyone here at RITK has worked to give you. And it is in your hands. Use the power. And it's power. No mistake about it. That education is the most powerful thing you could ever hold. Use your power to make this land better, to leave your younger brothers and sisters and your children with a better land and a better world. Congratulations. Good luck. Urma.
Thank you. And thank you, General Clark, for your exceptional words of wisdom, especially to our graduating students. We are indeed honored by your presence, and thank you for traveling here all the way from the United States to be with us today in Kosovo.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of RIT Kosovo, AUK, I would like to present you with this token of appreciation to thank you for being here with us today. Thank you, General.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. This is also a very special year for us as we are celebrating our 15th year of operation as RIT Kosovo, or as many people still refer to us as AUK. Ask any taxi driver. From the initial graduating class of 43 students, we are now awarding around 1,400 degrees over all of these years. Now, some of our employees have been with us since the very founding of AUK, and I would like to take this opportunity to recognize all faculty and staff that have been with us at this university since 2003. Will you at this time please stand to be recognized? Lindita Ragova. Ghazi Maliche. Hassan Salihu. Saranda Hailarahu. Lavan Bairami. And Mimosa Paloshka. Thank you all. Thank you. Today is indeed a day of celebration. But back earlier this year in January, we lost a very valuable and special faculty member who passed away suddenly, Farida Tasholi. Farida was a faculty member here at RIT Kosovo for 3 years. She taught in our English department and was dedicated to student success through her work in our academic support center. Her departure left a void in all of us who worked with her, and especially with our students who knew her. At this time, can we please have a moment of silence in recognition of our dear colleague, teacher, and friend, Farida Tasholi. Thank you very much, Falamadir. Thank you. You may be seated. It is now my honor to recognize and formally introduce Dr. David C. Munson, Jr., President of Rochester Institute of Technology, RIT. On July 1 of last year, Dr. Munson became the 10th president of RIT. He joined the university after 38 years of experience in higher education, which includes serving as the Robert J. Vlasic Dean of Engineering at the University of Michigan. Dr. Munson's teaching and research interests are in the area of signal and image processing. His current research is focused on radar imaging and computer tomography. He is affiliated with the Infinity Project, where he is co-author of a textbook on the digital world, which has been used in hundreds of high schools throughout the United States. This has been done to introduce students to the field of engineering. He is a strong advocate of international education, and we are thrilled today to welcome to RIT Kosovo, AUK, Dr. Munson. May I invite you now to come forward at this time. Dr. Munson.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hart. It is truly my pleasure to be here in Pristina, Kosovo, for my first time, and to witness the wonderful city, the wonderful country, the wonderful society that you have and are continuing to build. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is with the greatest pleasure that I join you today to participate in the commencement ceremony and congratulate all of the graduates on reaching this most special milestone in their lives. In a world in which knowledge is increasingly the differentiator between the successful and the unsuccessful, you are now in a position to make a meaningful contribution to your community, to your nation, and to the broader world. It is also a pleasure to acknowledge the families, wives, children, and friends of our graduates. It is your support which, in so many cases, helped bring the graduates to this place in time. The graduates will continue to need your support, of course, as they venture forward. At this time, I ask the audience and our special guests to join me in recognizing the people who, by their support, love, and encouragement, have contributed so much to the success of these graduates and are here with us to celebrate today. So I ask, would the parents of the graduates please rise and be recognized? Parents, please stand. Thank you. And next, would the spouses, partners, and children of the graduates please stand? I think we have some people in that category. Congratulations. Thank you. And last, but certainly not least, would the grandparents of our graduates please rise? What a wonderful day for you. So speaking again to the graduates, RIT Kosovo has prepared you well, but you should remember that this is not the end, but it is the beginning of your education, which will last for the rest of your life. The most successful graduates are those who continue to learn throughout life and who apply that learning to their work. Finally, RIT Kosovo, formerly the American University in Kosovo, is not really an American university, but rather it's an international partnership of the kind that we will increasingly need if we are to work together globally toward our shared goals. As you continue through your careers, I hope you will celebrate both your own national heritage and our common citizenship of planet Earth. We have nothing to lose and much to gain from working together for the betterment of all. Once again, congratulations and best wishes to all the graduates. It is now my pleasure to confer the RIT Bachelor of Science degree upon our graduates. My pleasure, however, is minor compared to those directly responsible for the academic success of our graduates. I speak of the faculty, of course. They are the teachers, the advisors, and the mentors of our students. So thank you, faculty. I ask that the graduating students of our faculty join me in honoring the RIT Kosovo faculty for a job well done, and I would ask that the faculty please stand. Thank you for a job very well done. And graduates, tomorrow you begin another journey. Whatever that journey you have chosen, be it continuing your studies, starting your career, or maybe engaging in public service, you have the knowledge and skills to be successful and to make a difference. Use them well. Kosovo, the region, and the world need you and your expertise. Now, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the State of New York and the Board of Trustees of Rochester Institute of Technology, I confer upon you the degree to which you are entitled as certified by the faculty and as signified in the commencement bulletin with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. On behalf of all the faculty, staff, and administration of RIT and RIT Kosovo, congratulations to the class of 2018. Now for a moment that I think our graduates have been waiting for. During this part of the ceremony, we will recognize each graduate for his or her accomplishments. As a courtesy to all the graduates and their guests, we ask the graduates to return to your seat after you've crossed the stage, and to remain seated until the end of the ceremony. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Dr. Hart, members of the board, RIT colleagues, it is now our pleasure to present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Applied Arts and Science degree.
Viola Gauche, highest honors. Ylza Hote, highest honors. Arbor Majune, highest honors. Dritan Mehmete, highest honors. Fiola Chore, highest honors. Kaltrina Zeka, highest honors. Armand Ademai. Fatan Azeme. Ardeona Bairaliu. Daorsa Bayrame. Glen Brdonice. Arlinda Berisha. Lorek Berisha. Gavin Bent. Denis Bitre. Valmir Cerete, honors. Erblen Chochai. Dorant Doco. Albatrem Demire. Anita Demire. Dafin Dormoco. Fioca Desco. Krishnik Dreshai. Diana Duše. Jan Duše. Kleves Elezai. Gresa Emine. Laureta Fazlio. Arbesa Ferize. Beatriz Fernandez. Ardit Goshe. Armen Goshe. Blerton Goshe. Erisa Goshe, High Honors. Florian Goshe. Bayram Getse. Pranvera Grabovce. Hana Hasimia, High Honors. Meritan Hajole. Albulena Hote. Albana Isene, Highest Honors. Therese Yokai. Erisa Yakupe. Taulant Yanuze. Erza Castrote. Tring Castrote. Labinot Kelmande. Aulona Krasnice. Marigona Krasnice, High Honors. Ronita Krasnice. Vigan Kuka. Dëfrem Kurte. Festa Kusore, High Honors. Arjand Lokai. Agem Loshai. Arvesa Lolune. Yora Lumeze. Gizem Maksute. Lorek Majune Honors. Ardian Mrnica. Elion Misine. Erleta Morina Honors. Meriton Morina Honors. Shqiptar Novosela. Arlend Osmane. Argent Pazzole. Albion Podrimaj. Valdrin Polome. Anula Pula. Shkëlqem Raci. Endrit Rama. Sabina Rossi. Leona Regepe. Dia Rizvanoli, High Honors. Hana Rizvanoli, High Honors. Rita Rugova, Honors. Fiona Rusinovci. Gent Rusinovci. Žaneta Sadiko. Ema Saracine. Blerin Seidiu, High Honors. Ariane Selmone. Rina Sfishta, Honors. Premtem Shachiri, High Honors. Venera Sheho. Urem Shuko, High Honors. Lis Sinone. Anita Sokole. Elife Sopa. Muharrem Temay, High Honors. Albion Uikoshi, High Honors. Dielza Jema. Benjamin Bogar. Saronda Zekole. Enkela Zenele. Emnesa Jube.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is indeed the future of Kosovo and the future of this region and beyond. The superb quality of our graduates, their passion and their quest for learning, often their struggle for an education in many cases while holding full-time jobs, the sacrifices that their families have made to get them here to this day, fills me with certainty that among these young people are the leaders who will take their homelands into a bright, peaceful, and prosperous future. I am proud to know them. Indeed, they have all made us proud. Now, what we have all been waiting for. Would the RIT Kosovo graduates, they're already ahead of me, please rise. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. Graduates, we salute your accomplishments that have resulted in your graduation today. We wish you only the very best in your profession ahead and your personal lives. On behalf of the entire RIT Kosovo community, again, one more time, congratulations to the class of 2018. Now, I ask for everyone to be seated for just a couple more minutes. Please be seated. Our ceremony is now coming to an end. Thank you to everybody, Prime Minister, Mayor, ministers, other honored guests, generals, our platform party general. We want to say thank you for making this commencement ceremony a fantastic success. Thank you to all the parents and the friends who have come today to celebrate our graduates' accomplishments. In just a moment, we will invite you to a reception in our garden immediately following the recessional. At this time, our mace bearer, Mimosa Poloshka, will now lead the recessional, which will start with our honored guests here on stage, then the faculty and the graduates. Please remain seated until the academic procession is complete. Again, please remain seated. Thank you all. Follow me, Derek. Okay, we will go ahead as soon as the music. Is there music?